Srila Prabhupada. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Mudirayet नष्टप्रायेष्वभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवत्युत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी श्रीमद्भागवतम Canto 3 Chapter 17 Text 16 and 17. This chapter is entitled Victory of Hiranyaksha over all the directions of the universe. Tavadidaityav sahasa व्यज्यमानात्मपौरुषौ ववृधाते स्म सारेण कायेनाद्रिपति इव तावादिदैत्यौ सहसा व्यज्यमानात्मपौरुषौ ववृधाते स्म सारेण कायेनाद्रिपति इव तावादिदैत्यौ सहसा व्यज्यमानात्मपौरुषौ ववृधाते श्मसारेण कायेनाद्रिपति इव. Please chant.
Hare Krishna. Tawadi daitau sahosha ajjamanatma purushau bhabradhate sma sarena kayanadripati iva. Hare Krishna.
Anyone else?
Hare Krishna.
Yes, ma'am.
Tavahadi daityo sahasa vyajamanatma purusa mavritate asma sarena kayena dripati hipa. Hare Krishna.
Tavadidaitya sahasa Vyajyamanatmapauruषो Vavridhati sma sarena Kayenadripati iva. Hare Krishna.
Okay. Shall we do the word-to-word translation? Tau, those two. Adi Daityau, demons in the beginning of creation. Sahasa, quickly. Vyajyamana, being manifest. Atma, own. Paurushau, prowess. Vavridhate, grew. Ashmasarena, steel-like. Kayena, with bodily frames. Adripati, two great mountains. Iva, like. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation. These two demons, who appeared in ancient times, soon began to exhibit uncommon bodily features. They had steel-like frames, which began to grow just like two great mountains. Purport. There are two classes of men in the world. One is called the demon, and the other is called the demigod. The demigods concern themselves with the spiritual upliftment of human society, whereas the demons are concerned with physical and material upliftment. The two demons born of Diti began to make their bodies as strong as iron frames, and they were so tall that they seemed to touch outer space. They were decorated with valuable ornaments, and they thought that this was success in life. Originally, it was planned that Jaya and Vijaya, the two doorkeepers of Vaikuntha, were to take birth in this material world, where, by the curse of the sages, they were to play the part of always being angry with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. As demoniac persons, they became so angry that they were not concerned with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but simply with physical comforts and physical upliftment. So, we are also supposed to cover text 17 today. So, I'll just read that verse. दिवि स्पृशौ हेमकिरीटकोटिभिर्निरुद्धकाष्ठौ स्फुरदङ्गदाभुजौ गां कम्पयन्तौ चरणै पदे पदे कट्या सुकाञ्च्यार्कमतीत्यतस्ततुः. Their bodies became so tall that they seemed to kiss the sky with the crests of their gold crowns. They blocked the view of all directions, and while walking, shook the earth at every step. Their arms were adorned with brilliant bracelets, and they stood as if covering the sun with their waists, which were bound with excellent and beautiful girdles. Purport. In the demoniac way of civilization, people are interested in getting a body constructed in such a way that when they walk on the street, the earth will tremble, and when they stand, it will appear that they cover the sun and the vision of the four directions. If a race appears strong in body, their country is materially considered to be among the highly advanced nations of the world. If a race appears strong in body, their country is materially considered to be among the highly advanced nations of the world. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana-salakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupah Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam. Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yuta Padakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakhanvitamscha. He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरि वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Thank you very much for joining in this morning's Srimad Bhagavatam class at ISKCON Philadelphia. We are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd canto, 17th chapter, actually. So, this chapter is entitled Victory of Hiranyaksha over all the directions of the universe. In these two verses, particularly, we are seeing a description of the bodies of Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu. Why are we talking about Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu now? What is the context here?
Because of the four Kumaras and Jai Vijay had difference this thing, and then Lord Vishnu came with Lakshmi and he solved the problem. He just sent Jai Vijay to universe.
Yes.
It is what.
Okay. Yes, Mataji. So there is actually all of you must have heard it if you have been following the sequence. Jai Vijay have become Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu.
Yeah.
Did they actually become demons? Did Jai Vijay actually become demons, Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksha?
No, Vishnu says that you just go and you'll be okay and you'll come back again. So there.
So there's a very important philosophical point here.
Yeah.
Actually, in this verse, we see that so in chapter 14 we saw how Diti became pregnant. She conceived at a wrong time.
Yeah.
Because of that, she was destined to get two demons as her sons. Then, to know the history of these demons, we saw actually what happened was when Diti was pregnant, there was darkness everywhere in the universe. All the demigods were perturbed. So they went to ask Brahmaji what's going on. Actually, they understood. They told him also, this is because of Diti's pregnancy. But they wanted to know, who are these personalities? They are so powerful. So then Brahmaji told the history, how they are actually Jai Vijay, and how because of the Kumara's curse, now they have come. Have they actually come because of the Kumara's curse? Who is Jaya and Vijaya? They are the eternal associates of the Supreme Lord in the spiritual world, in Vaikuntha.
Yeah.
The Kumaras are Brahmanas. They are the sons of Brahmaji in this material world. That means Brahmanas are in the mode of goodness, whereas The eternal associates of the Lord are beyond the three modes.
Yeah.
Can a Brahmana's curse, a Brahmana who is in the mode of goodness, can that curse cause an eternal associate of the Lord to fall down from the spiritual world to the material world? Is it possible? Can a Brahmana's curse cause a Parshada, an eternal associate of the spiritual world, to fall down to the material world? Actually, can an eternally liberated soul, a soul in the spiritual world, can he ever fall down to the material world?
No.
Because if you say a spirit soul is falling down, a spirit soul, when you say spirit soul, you're talking about an associate of the Lord in the spiritual world. So to understand that, I will have to show you something today. What exactly happened with Jay and Vijay? Because sometimes to support the statement that the living entities fall down from the spiritual world, Jay and Vijay's example is given. Jay and Vijay have fallen down, so therefore the living entity falls down from the spiritual world. So I want to tell you today uh, from the commentaries of the Acharyas what exactly happened in this pastime. I will try, I will make an attempt. Within the limited time that we have, let's see. See, you are able to see my board?
Yeah, empty board.
Yes, empty board. So, so this is Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd canto, 17th chapter, text 16 and 17. Normally, what happens is when we get our bodies, when a spirit soul, when a conditioned soul. First of all, let us understand what is a conditioned soul. This is a spirit soul. A spirit soul has characteristics. What are the characteristics of a spirit soul? It is the smallest you can say uh, conscious particle. Okay, why smallest? It is anu. Smallest means anu. There is anu and vibhu. Anu means like atomic, and vibhu means, it's very big, the biggest. So spirit soul, atma, which is the marginal energy of the Supreme Lord. Okay, before that I have to tell you, this is the Supreme Lord, and he has broadly three energies: internal,
Marginal.
marginal, and
And
external.
external.
External energies. Internal, marginal, and external energies. This spirit soul is the marginal energy, Atma. And what are the characteristics of Atma? It is smaller than the smallest, Anu Parimana. It's called Anu Parimana. That means it is atomic in size. Also, does the spirit soul have a form? It does. The form of the spirit soul is Eka Rupa Swarupa Bhak. Eka, one, Rupa, form. one form. What does that mean? Uniform. What is the Swarupa? What is the form of the spirit soul? It is uniform. And because it is the smallest particle, you cannot distinguish any form. I mean, you cannot distinguish a head and hands or legs or anything. It's just like a point. However, it has a form. What is that form? Uniform. From whichever angle you see, it just looks the same. That is the shape of the spirit soul. What is the spirit soul? It is the marginal energy of the Supreme Lord, Tatastha Shakti. Small, and also it is conscious, right? Sat, Chit,
Ananda.
Ananda, Vigraha. Vigraha means it has a form. But what is that form? Uniform. It's uniform form. It's uniform from any side. Now, such a spirit soul, this spirit soul, why it is called marginal? Because it can come under the control of either the internal energy or the external energy. This spirit soul can come under the control of internal energy and external energy. Or, hmm? So, when we talk about the conditioned soul, conditioned soul is covered by the external energy. What is that external energy? External energy has components vidya, avidya, prakriti. These are the components of the external energy called Mahamaya. Vidya, avidya, prakriti. This avidya is ignorance. Conditioned soul is covered by this avidya. Avidya. All conditioned souls are covered by this avidya or ignorance. Since when? Beginningless, anadi. Living and the spirit souls are covered by avidya. Conditioned souls are covered by avidya. There is no beginning. You know why? You see, this is the Lord, we said. So here, how does this creation, conditioned souls? So there is the spiritual realm and there is the material realm. Conditioned souls are in the material realm. All conditioned souls are in the material realm. Liberated souls will be in the spiritual realm. In between is the Viraja river. Okay? Here you will have Mahavishnu or Karanodakashayi Vishnu. Who glances on Prakriti. Huh? When he glances on Prakriti, what is Prakriti? Here. One of the components of the external energy. You see, this is Prakriti. I said avidya, prakriti, vidya. These are the components of external energy. So, parasya shaktir vividaiva shruyate. The Lord has many, many energies. So, these living entities, conditioned souls are in Him. The external energy is also His energy. When He desires to create, He just brings out that external energy. He glances on that prakriti, and all these living entities are impregnated into prakriti. And then we have discussed this several times. 23 elements are formed. These 23 elements form the universes. And then the Lord enters into the universe as Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. And all these living entities are also inside here. Then Brahmaji gives these living entities their subtle and gross bodies. So this conditioned soul here, which is covered by avidya, also has karma. This is how a conditioned soul is. Conditioned soul is accompanied, it's covered by avidya or ignorance, and it is accompanied by karma. So when all these conditioned souls enter into the universe, I can draw a bigger universe here. So when they enter into the universe, Brahmaji gives them bodies. And based on karma, because every conditioned soul has karma that it is carrying, based on karma, the living entities are given bodies in different planets. Somebody is in higher planets, somebody is on earthly planets, somebody is in lower planets. They are given material bodies, both gross and subtle bodies. And then for how long they stay in this universe? For one lifetime of Brahmaji, for 100 years of Brahmaji. So they stay in one body and then they give up that body and go on to another body. So this continues, life and death. Finally, when it is time for annihilation of the universe, all these conditioned souls, so everything is now reverse creation happens. All the universes go back, they become 23 elements. Then the 23 elements go back into Prakriti. Prakriti goes back into Mahavishnu. The living entities means the conditioned souls covered by avidya and ignorance. I'm sorry, avidya and karma. They also go back into Mahavishnu and they stay there. For how long? Until the next creation. When is the next creation? When the Lord glances on Prakriti another time, when he desires to create. And then again there is creation. And again the same thing continues. And again when it is time for annihilation, after 100 years of Brahmaji, all the conditioned souls go back into the body of Mahavishnu. Again when there is creation, they come out. Can you tell me when this started? When was the very first time when Mahavishnu glanced on Prakriti? No, it is a cycle. So therefore, these conditioned souls are called Nitya Baddha. Nitya Baddha, there is no beginning. Anadi, there is no beginning since when they are conditioned. That is the point. That means you cannot trace out a point when the soul actually became conditioned. You can also find reference for this in Srimad Bhagavad Gita 1320, Srila Prabhupada's purport, and also Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's commentary on that. So why I am saying this here today is, what is the difference between Jai Vijay's taking on the bodies of Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksha and us conditioned souls getting these bodies? Is it the same? Did they fall down from the spiritual world, and because of falling down, now they are also covered like this with avidya, like this? Are they also covered by avidya? And they also have some karma because of which they got these bodies? No, it's not like that. That is why this verse is very important. This verse is telling us that a Brahmana's curse, see, when we talk about Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya body, what does that mean? Bodies are coming from where? All these material elements are made from Prakriti.
Prakriti.
Prakriti is a component of external energy. If you see these three energies, internal, marginal, and external energy, internal energy is superior, topmost. Marginal energy is marginal. That means it is less than the internal. Whereas external energy is inferior. It is also called inferior energy. So, this inferior energy, Prakriti, the body which is made, marginal energy is this spirit soul. Spirit soul, conditioned soul gets a body made of external energy. So I will show you further. This conditioned soul, when he enters into the universe, already he is covered by this avidya and he is accompanied by karma. Now on top of this conditioned soul gets so many more coverings, gross and subtle bodies. In subtle body, he will get false ego. It's like a whole circle, but it will be difficult to draw circles. So I'm just drawing half a circle. So there's false ego. Then there's another covering of chitta. Chitta. Chittam means this is responsible for awareness. Okay. False ego. False ego means identifying the self with the body. What does this avidya do? This red color. Avidya makes the living entity forget that it is spirit soul. On top of this, when the spirit soul gets another covering of false ego, now it gets false identity. I am this body. I am this body. That comes from this false ego. Forgetting that I am, so this avidya is like darkness. When you are in a pitch dark room, you are not able to see yourself. You are not able to see anything in the room. Similarly, the spirit soul being covered by avidya is like being in darkness. Now the spirit soul is not able to see itself as spirit soul. That is the role of avidya or ignorance. It causes the living entity to forget that it is spirit soul. On top of that, now when the living entity gets another covering of false ego, now he gets a false identity that I am this body. I belong to this community. I belong to this family. This is coming because of this covering of false ego. Because of false ego, the living entity, this is called abhinivesha. Abhinivesha means he enters into the consciousness of that body. That means he starts identifying himself with that body. That is happening because of false ego. As a result of this, now when he gets other coverings like chittam and what else, then you get also another layer of, these are all subtle, this is part of subtle body, false ego, chittam or chitta, and then you get intelligence, buddhi, then another covering is your mind, another covering is your senses. Senses are also part of subtle body, they're not part of gross body. You have 5 working senses, 5 knowledge acquiring senses. Working senses are hands, legs, your tongue for speaking. Then you have your genitals and your anus, rectum. See, these are the 5 working senses. What are the 5 knowledge acquiring senses? Eyes, nose, ears, tongue, and skin. But these 10 senses are part of the subtle body, not part of the gross body. Gross body, outside this, there's another covering of gross body. Gross body is nothing but it's made of earth, water, fire, air, ether. Those gross elements. It's just like glasses and eyes, right? I have glasses. So glasses are not what is seeing, but the glasses are helping me to see. Like that, my gross ears, gross nose, tongue, this is external. These are fleshy ears. These are not what are hearing. What is hearing? The cause for hearing is that subtle sense which is there in the subtle body. So, this spirit soul is covered by so many layers of coverings. This conditioned soul. When we get subtle and gross bodies, and on what basis are we getting these bodies? On the basis of our karma. This green, this karma. Based on karma, Brahmaji gives us, awards us bodies. And when we get bodies, what do? We do further karma. Identifying with that body, we do further karma. So therefore, conditioned soul is always accompanied by karma. Whenever we get body, human body, we start accumulating karma. Then we have to suffer the result or enjoy or suffer the result of that karma. So we have to come back. And this is a cycle of birth and death. This is the condition, this is the position of a conditioned soul. When a conditioned soul gets a body, this material body, when he gets, this spirit soul, because of avidya, forgets that he is a spirit soul. And then because of false ego, he identifies with the body. And what does this mean, identifying with the body? That means he claims whatever functions. So the function of intelligence is, by intelligence, I know. I get, I know. So intelligence is responsible for knowing, but the soul claims that he knows something. The soul does not know. It is this intelligence which is actually getting knowledge. But the soul claims that I know. And mind is responsible for happiness. Where is happiness? It is in the mind. Happiness, distress. But the soul claims, I am happy. I am sad. This soul is claiming. Actually, the soul has nothing to do with any of these things. But because of false ego, because of entering into the consciousness of that body, now so soul is claiming. He's claiming, I'm happy, I'm sad. And then the senses also, right? I'm seeing, I'm hearing, I'm tasting, I'm touching. All these things. So, what is the position of Jai Vijay? I'll tell you what happened exactly with Jai Vijay. This is not how it happened with Jai Vijay.
Yeah.
Now let's come to Jai Vijay's case. So the spirit soul, when the spirit soul is liberated and enters into the spiritual world, the spiritual, the spirit soul also has a body. But now this body is actually made of the internal energy. It is not made of the external energy. Remember, I told you what is the form of the spirit soul? Ekarupa Swarupa Bhag. It is very small and it is uniform. However, it is a conscious being. And what is the constitutional position of the spirit soul? The constitutional position is, by constitution, being a part and parcel, being the marginal energy of the Lord, it is meant to serve the Lord. Just like, Srila Prabhupada gives the example of a screw or a nut of a machine, right? It is meant to serve the whole machine. Similarly, the living entity, being the Lord's energy, is meant to serve the Supreme Lord. So the living entity, this Jivatma, is called dasa bhuto harehe. Dasa bhuto harehe. That means by constitution it is meant to serve the Lord. But that does not mean it is already a devotee. You understand? By constitution it is meant to serve the Lord. But when will it become a devotee? Right now it is covered by external energy, isn't it? Avidya. I'll use another color here to show you the devotee. If this conditioned soul becomes covered by the internal energy, this would be the internal energy. In what way will he be covered by the internal energy? This is bhakti. Because bhakti is nothing but the condensed form of the internal energy. Bhakti is the condensed form of internal energy. So when this spirit soul becomes covered by this bhakti, right? Then, ah, then he'll be in the spiritual world. He can go to the spiritual world. So I'm saying, when there is a living entity living in the spiritual world, he will have a spiritual body. And that body is made of internal energy. It is not made of external energy. Whereas the bodies in the Material world are made of external energy. The bodies of the conditioned soul are made of external energy. Whereas the bodies of the eternal associates in the spiritual world are made of internal energy. And it is not like they change bodies. In the material world, you change bodies. In the spiritual world, there's no changing bodies. That's your eternal form. And also, it is not created. It's not that the body in the spiritual world is created. You take birth and you grow. No, they're eternally existing. They're awarded to a qualified living entity. When we do bhakti, and when will we do bhakti? When we get the association. First of all, when we get the mercy of a devotee, it begins there. And by that mercy, when we get firm faith, either firm faith or taste. What type of taste? Taste to do devotional service 24 by 7. Either you get that taste or you get firm faith. Even if I don't have taste, if I have firm faith, why firm faith? Because when you have firm faith, that is when you can do devotional service 24 by 7. Only these two conditions. Then he will begin his sadhana bhakti. And by doing this sadhana bhakti, there are stages. What are these stages based on? These stages are based on the eradication of anarthas. Anarthas means unwanted things. There are different types of anarthas. Offenses is one. There are different types. Sukritota, Dushkritota, Bhaktiota. By doing bhakti also you get anarthas. And then of course the most powerful one is aparadota, offenses. As your offenses are being cleared, as they are getting eradicated, you progress from one stage to the next. You go higher and higher and higher. You cross the various stages. In sadhana, bhakti. And when you perform, when you cross so many stages and when you come to asakti, so there is sadhu sangha, bhajana kriya, anartha nivritti, nishtha, ruchi, asakti. At that stage, you are awarded a transcendental body. But it's not that that body is created for you at that time. No, it's eternally existing. But based on your mood, on your bhava, and what type of mood you have depends on what type of association you get, what type of spiritual master you get, how you have practiced. Based on that, you will be awarded a body which is eternally existing. You may wonder, how is it that the body is eternally existing? It is something like when you go to the store, there are so many dresses already made, and you get one dress like that. There are eternally existing what that is awarded to you based on your sadhana bhakti. That's one way. There are different ways how you can get your bhava. But my point is, spiritual body, living entities who are living in the spiritual world, they have eternal bodies. They have bodies that are made of the internal energy. Is it possible? Now comes the question. Is it possible for an eternally liberated soul? That means he has a body made of Swarupa Shakti, internal energy. Is it possible for such a body to be covered by avidya once again? What do you think? Avidya is a component of the external energy. Can the external energy cover the internal energy? No. External energy is jada. Jada means there's no consciousness. You can compare the external energy to a pen or pencil, like a dull matter. Marginal energy you can compare to a lamp or a flashlight. Internal energy is like the sun. That's the difference. Can the external energy cover the internal energy? No. The eternally liberated devotees living in the spiritual world, they cannot be covered by the external energy. So, Jaya and Vijaya, they're falling down from the spiritual world to the material world. It is just a pastime. Why? This is actually a very sweet pastime. Jai Vijay being the, the devotees in the spiritual world means they are, those who have love for the Supreme Lord, the associates of the Lord. About the gopis also we hear that whatever they do, it is only to give pleasure to Krishna. Even if they are hankering, because the relationship of gopis with Krishna is conjugal relationship. So it looks like they are hankering for Krishna. Are they hankering for Krishna for their own pleasure? They are burning in separation. What do you mean by burning in separation? For their own pleasure? No. They are burning in separation from Krishna for Krishna's pleasure. Krishna Saukyartam Eva. Their desires for Krishna is meant for Krishna's pleasure. In the spiritual world, the Supreme Lord is in the center. All the devotees, they are, whatever they do, it is to give pleasure to the Supreme Lord. So Jay and Vijay are thinking that our Lord should not lack in anything. He should enjoy all types of pleasures, all types of rasas. There are 5 primary rasas and there are 7 secondary rasas. 5 primary rasas, I think all of you know. There is Shanta, Dasya, Sakhya, Vatsalya, Madhurya. That means relationship with the Supreme Lord. That means there's a taste in different relationships. You can have a relationship with the Supreme Lord. Of course, Shanta is not really, there's no, service involved there. But Shanta is awe and reverence. But then there is relationship as a servant and the Lord is the master. Or you are a friend of the Supreme Lord. Or you are a parent of the Supreme Lord. Or you can be a lover of the Supreme Lord. So these 5 are primary rasas. But then there are secondary rasas. The secondary rasas are not always existing, but they come and go according to need in a particular pastime. So sometimes there's comedy, sometimes there is, ghastliness, there is horror, like this. So there are different types of 7 secondary rasas are there. So one of them is chivalry, virya rasa. So Jai Vijay are thinking, our Lord should enjoy all different rasas. Nothing should be lacking. But he's not able to enjoy this rasa of chivalry. Why? Because in the spiritual world, everyone is a devotee who is going to fight with the Lord. Nobody is going to fight with the Lord. If the Lord wants to enjoy this rasa of chivalry where he's fighting, like a kshatriya, like a warrior, he will fight the enemy and defeat the enemy and taste that rasa of chivalry in battle. For him to relish that rasa, he will have to go to the material world, because in the spiritual world, nobody is going to fight with the Lord. But then, if he goes to the material world, who is powerful enough to stand in front of the Lord even for a moment? They'll be finished. After all, their bodies are made of external energy. What power do they have to fight with the Lord? And if the game is over in a moment, what fun, what pleasure will the Lord get? We want the Lord to get that pleasure of fighting. So, Jai Vijay actually insist. They first request the Lord, and the Lord also does not want to see that his devotee will become his enemy to fight with him. He says, no, 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 I don't want you to become. But Jai Vijay is saying, no, no, please, like small kids, they insist, right? I want that, I want that, I want that, like that. Jai Vijay hut means, in Telugu you say alagadam, right? Like zid karna. That means you are insisting. I want it, I want it, I want it, like that. So they were saying, my Lord, please do something so that we will become your enemies, because they also have spiritual bodies. They are the eternally liberated souls. So they are powerful. They can put up a good fight for the Lord, and the Lord can actually enjoy that virya rasa. So there is this competition between the Lord and the devotee. The devotee wants to please the Lord, and the Lord wants to please the devotee. In this case, the devotee is saying, I make me an enemy, and the Lord is saying, no, 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 I don't want to see you become my enemy. But who wins? When there is a competition between the Lord and the devotee, who wins?
Of course, Lord.
No, the devotee wins. Because the Lord is Bhakta Vatsala. He cannot see his devotee lose.
Okay.
So even though the Lord didn't want it, like you see, every pastime, Yashoda Mai and baby Krishna. Yashoda Mai wants to tie Krishna. But he's so great, his Vibhu quality wouldn't allow Yashoda Mai to tie him up. But she didn't give up. And her endeavor just
Finally, he makes her win.
reduced the Vibhu quality. Like the Vibhu quality was now covered by the Bhakta Vatsalata of the Lord. Krishna, seeing the endeavor of his mother, now he allowed her to bind him like that. So in this case also, Jai Vijay, when they said finally, the Lord had to agree. They won, the devotees won, and he said, all right. Now for that to happen, this whole pastime is arranged. He had the Kumaras come. Why did the Kumaras come? Why the Lord selected only the Kumaras? They were not, what was their qualification to come to Vaikuntha? Their qualification was not because they were Brahman realized, therefore they were able to enter Vaikuntha. That is not the reason. They got the mercy from their devotee father, Brahmaji, and also their brother, Narad Muni. These are devotees, pure devotees. Our Brahmaji is a pure devotee. So they heard about the Supreme Lord from their father, and by hearing from a pure devotee, now they got this desire to actually go and see the Lord. And meanwhile, here the Lord also arranged for them to come. Because of that, another point, when when a person receives a devotee's mercy, that mercy is followed by the Lord's mercy. So because Kumaras received Brahmaji's mercy, now the Lord's mercy followed that. And the Lord actually had them come to Vaikuntha and gave his mercy. They smelled the tulsi from the lotus feet of the Lord, and they actually got darshan of the Lord, and they relished that form. However, now this whole thing was arranged for Jai Vijay to go down. So therefore, Jai Vijay is becoming angry on the Kumaras, and the Kumaras cursing Jai Vijay. All this was orchestrated by the Lord. So, can you, because if you simply said that the Lord wanted to enjoy this Virya Ras means this rasa of chivalry, therefore he made Jai and Vijay Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksha. If you said that, how will it look? The Lord is so selfish that he wanted to enjoy this, so for that he made his own devotees into his enemies. How could he do that? Don't you think others would point out at the Lord? How could he do that? So, this is not the Lord's desire that they should become his enemies, that they should become asuras. Only asuras would fight with the Lord.
Yeah.
It was their desire. It was their desire. And because it was their desire, therefore the Lord arranged it. Now, there's one more point here, although we don't have so much time. I will see if I can touch on it. One more point is, did Jai Vijay, this is how I started at the beginning, did Jai Vijay actually become demons? Did they actually become demons? That would really go against our philosophy.
Mhm.
If you said that they actually became demons, even if you said it is Jai Vijay's desire, I'm asking you, would you be willing to become an actual demon who hates the Supreme Lord? Would any of you be willing to become an enemy of the Lord, where you actually become an enemy of the Lord and you're a demon and you fight with the Lord? Would you be happy to become like that?
No.
No. Or would you be happy if your neighbor devotee became an enemy of the Lord? Some other devotee, like a very sincere devotee,
No.
not to speak of an eternally liberated associate of the Lord,
No.
and a very advanced, senior devotee who's been practicing for 50 years very sincerely. Would you be happy to see that devotee all of a sudden fall down and
No.
become an enemy of the Lord? Can
No.
any devotee become happy seeing that? Can any devotee desire that it should happen like that?
No.
No. Can the Lord desire that his devotee become an enemy like that?
No. No.
The Lord cannot desire. The Lord cannot desire. Uh,
You cannot
the
desire.
devotee himself cannot desire. Other devotees cannot desire. Now, what other options are remaining? Already I told you, Kumara's curse caused them to become real enemies. What power does a Brahmana have to cover, to cause an eternal associate to become a demon? Not possible. He's lower. Brahmana is still on the material platform,
Mm.
mode of goodness. It's not possible. Then, can you say one of the conditioned souls like us has desired, therefore they fall down from there? Even if we desired, what is our power? What is the power of our desire? Can our desire cause an eternal associate to fall down? That's also not possible. Then, is it even possible for an eternally liberated associate to become an actual demon, like a conditioned soul? Conditioned souls, you get human bodies, demigod bodies, demon bodies. So, is it even possible for an eternally liberated associate to get the body of a demon? It's not possible. So, Srila Jiva Goswami explains that this Asura Bhavam means this mood of a demon that Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksha had, that is not real.
Yeah.
It is Abhasa. Abhasa means semblance. It resembles the mood of a demon, but actually, they didn't really become demons. This whole thing was they wanted to give that pleasure to the Lord. So for that sake, they just like a drama on stage. We have dramas on every festival in Philadelphia, ISKCON. So the devotees, somebody plays the role of, Kamsa on Janmashtami. And all the other devotees are sitting there and they're enjoying the drama. They know that this devotee is playing the role of Kamsa and they enjoy that that drama, that pastime being enacted, isn't it? And we even get absorbed into it. If something happened, we'll be like, oh. Similarly, Jai Vijay played this role of Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksha so well that everybody got, you know, they themselves also, when you
Really?
play, when you a good actor, right, when he performs, he really enters into that role. While he is playing that role, he forgets his real identity. At that time, while he's playing that role, he's completely absorbed into that. That is when the others also are able to get into that. They are able to really feel, isn't it?
Yeah.
So Jai Vijay played the role of Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksha so well. While they were there as Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksha, they were completely in that mood. However, that was just a play. It was not real. They didn't actually get that asura bhavam or asuratvam or enmity for the Supreme Lord. So finally, I will just show you that drawing one more time what exactly happened to Jai Vijay when they came here. So this is the spiritual body of Jai Vijay. Huh? This is their spiritual body. And this is a gigantic body, a big body, right? Like it's a full size body. However, Atma is very small, right? Now, eternally liberated souls have all siddhis, whatever siddhis in this world, like Anima,
Garima,
Laghima,
Garima,
Mahima,
Mahima.
Prapti, like this, right? There are many siddhis. So, one of the siddhi is becoming smaller than the smallest. So, by this siddhi, Jai Vijay made their body very, very small, like a spirit soul. But that was still their spiritual body made of the internal energy. But using this siddhi, they made their body really small. And with this small body, they entered into this material body which was
Hiranyak.
created by this is called Mayika body. Mayika means it's made with Maya. Body of Asura. It was made. It's like, like a dummy, right? Like a body was made. And they have entered into that body. As soon as they entered into that body, now this body came to life. It started moving around and all that. What is this body? This is the body that we are reading about now. Asura's body. But their condition is different from this conditioned soul's condition. What is the conditioned soul's condition? It's covered by ignorance, forgetting itself. And then it also has karma and it gets this false ego. Because of false ego, it is now abhinivesha. Abhinivesha means it's getting into that body. Now, it is actually uh, identifying the self with that body. Not in the case of Jai Vijay. They are playing, but they're playing it so well. While they're actually getting into that role, but this is temporary for 3 lifetimes only. So Acharyas explain what is the proof that Jai Vijaya didn't fall because of the curse of the Brahmanas. The proof is, if somebody is cursed to become a demon, if you are cursed, as a result of that curse, you will be suffering. And if you become an asura, you will go to hell. We don't see anything like that happening in Jai Vijay's case. They just came, and we see, just now we see how they have these huge bodies and so powerful. They fight with the Supreme Lord, but we don't see them going to hell and suffering in hell. So this shows that they were not in the least affected by the curse of the Brahmanas. It is not that the living entity came down, falling down from the spiritual world. Jai Vijay fell down. It's not like that. They came here. There is, of course, we don't have time. There are so many other aspects also that, why the Lord allowed this. Of course, the bottom line is Jai Vijay's desire to fulfill, not fulfilled, wanting their desire for the Lord to enjoy Virya Rasa, all types of rasas. That's the bottom line. Now, for that to happen, how the Lord arranged everything else. He put all the other pieces together to fulfill the desire of Jai and Vijay. Uh, so then, when the Kumaras cursed, so this is like, these are all now externals, right? When the Kumaras cursed, the Lord tells Jai Vijay, I cannot, I could have actually nullified the curse of the Kumaras, but it doesn't look good because I am the one who has given this power to Brahmanas. Brahma Shapa. When a Brahmana gives a curse, it's very powerful. So if I nullify that, nobody will value Brahmana's words, and that is not good for society. So therefore, to keep the curse of the Kumaras, Prakasha means uh, an expansion, right? In one expansion, you go to the earth, but in another expansion, you remain here in Vaikuntha, like that. So they stayed there, and one expansion came to the earth to become Hiranyakashipu, Hiranyaksha, and now they have these huge bodies, and and they are playing their role so well. Uh, and again, it's not like, that's the beauty, right? One more very important point that has to be said here is, all this is these bodies and everything, it is arranged by Leela Shakti. Leela Shakti is one of the functions of Yoga Maya. Leela Shakti arranges everything, and that's a whole another discussion in itself, for which we don't have time today. Maybe on another day I can talk about Leela Shakti, and also the function of Yogamaya, how she acts on the devotees uh, to make a particular Leela pastime, to enrich that Leela for the Lord's pleasure. So I think I will stop here. Uh, does anyone have any?
Mataji, I have a small question.
Yes, Mataji, please.
In one of these classes, I don't remember which speaker said, uh, when Lakshmi came to Vaikuntha, these Jai Vijay stopped her also to go inside. That was one of the reasons also Lord Vishnu says, because of that Lakshmi was so angry, how can they stop me going into my own this thing? Then that was another reason Vishnu says that you have to, Lakshmi was angry, so you have to pay for that also to go to material world.
I heard this several years ago, this also, but certainly it is possible, but I'm not aware. I cannot give you, reference from where, because we have different acharyas giving commentaries.
Yes.
So it is possible, What I told you just now is from Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's commentary and Srila Jiva Goswami's commentary. But we have also commentaries given by Srila Sanatan Goswami and other acharyas. So it is possible. Uh, but even if that is there, still the bottom line will be, you
Yeah, they
know,
want to act.
yeah, they wanted to. So for that to happen, now the Lord is arranging all the other things, the curses and all that.
Yeah.
But those are just, uh, you know, they are meant to achieve this, to fulfill the desire of Jai Vijay ultimately.
I
Because,
forgot which whose class, but recently they said this is what that's why Lord Vishnu says. Because of that, also you just go to material world, but you will come back.
yeah, that is there. That you will come back. That is there in the Srimad Bhagavatam verses itself. It's there. The Lord is saying to Jai Vijay, because after the Kumaras leave, when Jai Vijay, now the Lord is looking at Jai and Vijay, and they're feeling very sorry that now they will be in separation from the Lord. So at that time, the Lord says, don't worry, right? That means you don't have anything to worry.
Yeah.
And there it is said that you one of your expansions will go, you will still stay here. That is one thing.
Mhm.
And also you will come back. So
Yeah, that
you don't have to
that
worry
he
like that.
says. One of those names are mine, Vijay.
Vijay, acha. Yes.
I,
But now
I,
you are Vindhyavali Mataji.
yeah, but I was thinking that Lord will say something to me.
Madhvi Gaurangi
Actually,
Mataji.
my parent give me the name Jai Jaya.
Oh,
Oh, okay, Jaya and Vijaya.
nice. Mataji, did you raise your hand? Madhvi Gaurangi Mataji? Or was that my mistake?
Hare Krishna Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances always to Srila Prabhupada. So good to see you, Mataji, first of all. And yeah, I just want to um, give a little point which I read in VCT's commentary for this Lakshmi Devi thing. In his commentary, I'm sorry, I was running upstairs, so I'm just. So in his commentary, he's writing that this verse is present in some of the editions of Srimad Bhagavatam, and some of the editions this verse was not there, so that's why there was no commentary over it. But VCT is okay. VCT is talking. So even if it is, I mean, even if it is there, we can understand, Mataji, that Lord Vishnu, he is not as attached to Lakshmi like we are attached with our own spouses. And even in the Prithu Maharaj, uh, what you say, even in the Prithu Maharaj fourth canto, Prithu Maharaj is explaining, that, okay, Prabhu, I want your dasyam of your feet. But but Lakshmi Devi will be upset from me because I'm sharing the same service. Mhm.
But
But
you support me.
so yeah, that's what Vishnunath Chakravarti Thakur is saying even. And about this Lakshmi Devi pastime, I even was searching about it, and I mean VCT's commentary is saying in that they are present in some editions and not in all. So I mean, just wanted to add this
Yes,
little
yes.
point, Mataji.
Yes, Mataji. Yeah.
Hare Krishna.
I heard this also come up in one of the classes, and uh, if I'm not, if I am recollecting it properly, I think it was said something like, maybe this is explained in another sampradaya like that. But uh, this is very convincing, right? I mean, uh, the explanation given here, because here there is no offense done to anyone. When we hear this is the desire of the devotee. It's not, and whatever curses happen later on, that is only for the sake of fulfilling the desire of the devotee, simply to achieve that goal. everything else was simply arranged like that. So, yeah, but thank you, Mataji. I don't know that, so I should not comment.
I just heard, that's why I'm asking.
Yes, yes, Mataji. Yeah,
One of these classes.
Hare Krishna. My
Thank you
knowledge
very
is
much,
limited.
Mataji.
I just repeat whatever I hear like a parrot.
Thank you very much, Mataji. Wonderful class.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. Yeah, it's way over time. Thank you all so much for your kind attention.
Sometimes listening to this, we don't feel the time.
Bhagavatam is so
Yeah.
wonderful. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.
Srila
Srila
Prabhupada.
Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
Samaveta Gaur Bhakta Vrind ki jai.
Vancha
Vanchakalpatarubhyascha
kalpatarubhyasya kripa
kripa
sindhobhyev
sindhubhyeva
cha
cha
patitanam
patitanam
pavanebhyo
pavanebhyo
Vaishnavebhyo
Vaishnavebhyo
namo namah.
Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrind ki
Vrinda
jai.
ki jai.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Hare
you.
Krishna.
Thank you very much, Mataji.